Stop the moral panic. Sharing kids on social media isn't exploitation, it's often empowerment. By Tech Dirt guest contributor November 28, 2025. Last week the Irish Data Protection Commission, DPC, dropped a slickly produced public service announcement titled "Think Before You Post." The video is framed as a gentle reminder about children's privacy rights under GDPR. Fair enough, nobody wants strangers harvesting a toddler's face for AI training sets. But within 48 hours the internet's usual chorus of child protection advocates spun it into a full-blown crusade against family vlogging. Good. The feel-good news outlet that normally traffics in stories about rescued puppies and community gardens, ran with the headline "Ireland just dropped the ultimate reminder, stop posting your kids online." The comments were a predictable pile-on, finally someone is protecting the children. Family channels are just digital sweatshops. Those poor exploited babies. Let's all take a deep breath. Yes, the Irish PSA mentions that you should get consent before posting images of children who aren't your own. Yes, it correctly points out that once something is online, you often lose control of it. Those are reasonable cautions. What it does not do is declare family vlogging illegal or inherently abusive. That leap was made by the moral panic industrial complex, not by the Irish regulator. This is the same script we saw in 2019 when the New York Times published a long, brooding piece insinuating that every parent who films their kid opening Christmas presents is basically running a child labor ring. YouTube family creators pushed back hard, and rightly so. Many of those exploited kids grew up to defend their childhood channels themselves. The Ace Family Kids, the Lawbrand Fam, dozens of others, teenagers now who say, loud and clear, we liked making videos. We still do. Stop speaking over us. And that's the part the panic brigade keeps ignoring: kids can consent. Not a 4-year-old, obviously. But a 9-year-old who helps set up the ring light and begs to be in the thumbnail? A 13-year-old who edits the vlogs and negotiates the brand deals? That's not exploitation, that's collaboration. In many of these families the channel is the primary breadwinner. YouTube AdSense puts braces on teeth, pays for dance lessons, funds college funds. Tell me again how that's worse than sending your kid to work the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A at 16. The Irish PSA even uses the example of not posting a photo that reveals a child's school uniform logo. Sorry, but in 2025 that's laughable. My old high school, Cypress Woods High in Cypress Fairbanks ISD, Texas, has been on the local news roughly 400 times for everything from national championship marching band to football playoffs to the occasional unfortunate active shooter drill. The campus is all over Google Street View. Saying the name Cypress Woods or showing the crest on a letter jacket is not doxing, it's literally public information. Pretending otherwise is security theater. Look, nobody is arguing for zero boundaries. Blur the license plates. Don't post bathroom footage. Teach your kids the permanent nature of the internet the same way you teach them to look both ways before crossing the street. But let's stop treating every parent with a camera like a predator. Family vlogging done right gives kids creative skills, financial literacy, and yes, a voice. In an era when traditional gatekeepers still love to silence young people, children should be seen and not heard. A platform that lets an 8-year-old review toys or a 15-year-old talk about anxiety is radical in the best way. With Giving Tuesday 3 days away, watch the channels that actually matter, the ones raising tens of thousands for St. Jude, or the adoption funds, or the local animal shelter because little Madison wanted to help puppies for her birthday. That's the real story of family vlogging, not the dystopian fanfiction the panic merchants keep selling. Ireland, I still love you. Guinness, Cliffs of Moher, the whole bit. But your privacy PSA got hijacked by the same people who think sharenting is one step away from selling toddlers on the dark web. Chill. The kids are alright and a lot of them are more than happy to tell you so themselves. in 4K. The Irish disconnect, why the DPC's privacy PSA misses the mark on American family realities. Let's zoom in on the Irish Data Protection Commission for a moment. As a GDPR enforcer, the DPC does sterling work safeguarding data in a continent where privacy is treated like a human right, and rightly so. But when it comes to family vlogging, particularly the YouTube ecosystem that dominates it there, think before you post video feels like it's written in a different language. Not just literally, English with a Dublin lilt, but figuratively. The DPC seems to view social media sharing through the lens of casual snapshots at a birthday party, not the high-stakes, full-time profession it is for thousands of American families. YouTube isn't a hobby for these creators, it's survival. A family's channel can pull in six figures annually through ads, sponsorships, and merch income. That's often the only thing keeping the lights on amid skyrocketing living costs on the US mainland. And right now, those costs are exploding under the current Trump administration's tariff blitz. Just this year, broad 10% tariffs on imports from nearly every trading partner kicked in, jacking up prices on everything from groceries to kids' clothes. The Tax Foundation crunches the numbers. That's an average $1,200 hit per household in 2025 alone, ballooning to $1,600 next year. Yale Budget Lab goes further, estimating a whopping $2,400 annual sting per family. We're talking empty shelves in aisles stocked with imported staples, bread prices doubling for fixed-income retirees, and toy costs up 3.7% in months. Even coffee, the fuel of harried parents, got a tariff tweak just to ease the backlash, as the White House finally admitted the price hikes were real. In this squeeze, family vlogging isn't exploitation, it's entrepreneurship born of necessity. A mom in suburban Texas or a dad in Florida might edit videos until midnight not out of vanity, but because traditional 9-to-5s don't cover the rent hikes from tariff-fueled inflation, hovering at 3% despite the spin. Penn Wharton models show these policies could shave 6% off long-term GDP and 5% from wages, hitting middle-income households with a $22,000 lifetime loss. For low earners, disposable income drops 4%, twice the pain of a corporate tax hike. YouTube. It's the gig economy on steroids, flexible hours, creative control, and yes, kids who often co-star because they're the heart of the content, and, increasingly, the savvy collaborators. The DPC's advice, noble as it is, glosses over this. Their PSA warns about revealing too much, like school logos, without acknowledging that for many vloggers, transparency builds trust with audiences and advertisers. It's not recklessness, it's branding in a creator economy worth $250 billion globally. And consent? As those grown-up vlog kids keep reminding us, it's not a binary. A tween hyping their latest haul or a teen scripting a challenge isn't being puppeteered, they're learning media literacy, negotiation, and financial chops that schools can't touch. Ireland gets the grind of high costs too. Dublin rents rival San Francisco's, but transatlantic blind spots like this PSA risk fueling the very moral panic that silences families just trying to thrive. If the DPC wants to protect kids, how about a follow-up on empowering them through digital tools? Because in 2025 America, where tariffs turn every grocery run into a budget thriller, family vlogs aren't the problem. They're the plot twist that keeps the story going. With Giving Tuesday looming, let's celebrate the channels turning views into victories, funding food drives in tariff-pinched towns or scholarships for the next gen of creators. That's not panic, that's progress. If anyone still thinks family vlogging is just clueless parents exploiting mute toddlers, they clearly haven't met Evan Moana, the now 20-year-old who literally grew up in front of millions as EvanTube HD. Last night, Evan dropped a 47-second Instagram reel that's already racked up 2.8 million views. He stitches the Irish DPC's think before you post PSA, lets the narrator solemnly intone always get consent before sharing images of children, then cuts to himself at age 6 unboxing Angry Birds toys in 2011, followed by clips of his 2014 appearance on national television, yes, actual network morning shows, flying a 9-year-old from Texas to New York because his channel was that big.